Good day to all. This is Mr. Ramirez. This lesson will be for you to catch up on the drawings that we'll be doing. There are 3 drawings assigned last week, and they were done in pencil, and we're going to go over them today. So we'll be reviewing the first one, which will be a bird, and then the second one will be a fish, and the third will be an old caricature of an old man. So let us go ahead and begin the lesson. What you'll need is, of course, some drawing tools. I will be using the blue pencil, which is called a non-photo blue pencil, and I'll be featuring that throughout the lesson. So please remember to have a pencil ready and of course a paper. Each one will be done on different paper spaces, so make sure you have 3 separate papers to work with. The first drawing, we'll go ahead and start. Let me try and zoom in a little bit. The first one will be a bird. So this is the first drawing that you need to have ready, because out of the 3, we're going to pick 2 that will be done into the next level. It will either be in pencil, full pen and ink, or full color. And then full color can include pastels, watercolor, color pencils, acrylic paints, whatever you can, and if you wish to work with, you can. So those are the 3 levels that we'll be producing the next stage with. But first, let's get the pencil drawing started. The one for the bird is going to require us to do a large circle like this, okay? And this will be kept in the sketching stages. Later you can perfect it. Then a larger circle. Let me just go ahead and darken up both a little bit, and then I'll darken them up a little bit darker so we can see the drawing at the end. Once you establish your 2 circles, which look like a slanted number 8, we will then work on a beak, which is going to be around here at this level. And if you can, sort of draw a triangle with a little bit more pointed towards the flat right. And then if you want to point this down, you can. And then give it a lower beak, which is like an upside down triangle. And I'll be darkening it up just a little bit so you can see. Okay. What we'll do next is we'll kind of connect these 2 circles right here, and then we'll darken these up along with the circle so that you can begin seeing the head of your bird. Remember, these will be perfected later, so we're just doing the structure of the drawing. You may go ahead and darken up the circle around the body. What we'll do next is we'll work on the eye, which can be placed a little bit close to this area. We're going to work with 3 circles. It's a little bit of a large circle, the first one. The second one goes inside, leaving a little bit of an outline, an edge around it. And the third one will either be a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. After that, if you can please shade in that eye, that would be great. Okay, there we go. And then our next line is going to be a curve here in the body, a little bit to the right and towards the back, and a little bit curve down, and then that last point will connect up, thus giving us a tail formation. Okay. The next part is we're going to be adding some legs and some claws, as we call it, or in some areas they call it the grapples, which will have this line pointing up, and then one pointing from the bottom a little bit to the left, like that. Okay. And then what we'll do next is we will add the 3 grapples on each end of the foot, or the leg, sorry, like this. There's 1. Let's do the middle ones. There's 2. And then on each one we can have it go a little bit up and then down, and a little bit up and then down. And then the bottom one can go in whatever direction you like. Just make sure it's not as big as the first one that we did in the middle, because that's going to be a little bit smaller than that one. Okay, so we're basically going to leave it in a very simple format. You can erase this middle line that connects both circles, and then you can do a simple curve to make the branch in which the bird is sitting on or standing on. And then we'll leave it alone like this. Okay, so this will be our first drawing that we'll be doing in pencil. Okay, so moving along, you are able to do the first one, we will later give you instructions on how to do the next stage. We'll then move on to the second drawing, which will be a fish. Okay. On the fish, what we want you to do is do a shape like this, sort of like a eye shape, like a flat lemon, a flat football, or an almond shape. In a way, it kind of looks like an eye formation that we would maybe start off with. Okay, we'll do that first. And then what we'll do is we'll do a curve here at the end, not connected to that. But then from each tip, we'll connect it to the body. Okay. You can either do it like this, or you can do a curve and then do that. You see that? And then connect it. Okay. You can leave that line there because we'll be using it later. Here in the front, we'll be doing a small lower lip. We'll go out a little bit and then come in. And then what we'll do is we'll do a circle a little bit to kind of divide up the head like this. Half circle, circular form, right? And then do 2 of these lines inside. And then we'll do the eye like we did on the bird. Probably placed it around here, a little bit big like that. We're also going to do 3 of them, a second circle, and then a third small circle. Okay. Also go ahead and fill it in and shade it in. And then what we'll do is we'll start doing the fins. We can do it in whichever direction you want, whichever style you like. I'll do mine like this on the top. We'll be adding 2 on the top. There's the first one, and then there's the second. Okay. And then we'll do one up here, sort of like a triangle, but a little bit bigger, smaller. That's 1. We're going to add 2 more in this formation, or whichever formation you like. 2 and 3. Okay. Afterwards, what we'll do with a very light pencil, we will then go into giving it some design inside, but we'll be doing a lot more to it later. Establish that inside the fins you'll be doing some line formations like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? In the back you'll kind of follow the pattern of the tail. You could probably start in the middle and then just kind of follow 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and that seems to be what fits, so that's fine. Here we can add lines going at an angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here they can go down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here the same, maybe at an angle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here a little bit to the right, because this will be the beginning of it. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So what we'll do is we'll finish it here, and then we'll prepare it for coloring, inking, or penciling on our next stage. But we'll discuss that at a later lesson. So if you like to erase the edge of the mouth here, so that the mouth ends there, you can do that. You can also bring in a line here, and then maybe shade it in like that. And if you want to add a bigger lip, you can go around it on the top. Okay? Same thing to the bottom. Okay, we'll stop there with the second drawing. I'll leave it here for a little bit so you can kind of see it. And then we'll prepare our third drawing. Let me sharpen my pencils really quick. And the third drawing will be a tall caricature. So we'll be changing the format of the paper. So let me move this one. This is our second drawing. Okay. We'll then proceed with our third drawing, which will be a little bit more in the vertical format. So let me get that prepared. Okay. On this one, it'll be a little bit of a challenge because it's going to be a little bit more lines, a lot more lines. And so the top part, let me see, zoom out a little bit. We kind of have to designate where the body is going to be. and where the head will be. Okay, so more or less, if you can start with a square that's a little bit wide here, like this. Okay, and then we'll proceed with some lines going a little bit at an angle to the top, and then I'll revert a little bit and come back here. We'll make the lines going here like this, and this bottom part is going to look almost like a bottle, except well, let me go ahead and bring the lines down, and then what we'll do is we'll designate an inner line here, go in these corners, and then come down and then out. I'm going to come here, down, and then a little bit outward. Okay, the bottom of this corner here, we're going to establish some shapes that are like this. We're going to have two parallel lines, and then almost it's going to be the cuff of the shirt, so it'll be like this, coming down. Okay, we can erase this line here. Right, and then this line can be the arm, so we'll bring the lines down like that. Okay, also on the body, we'll establish a small circle which will represent a belt buckle. We'll do two lines coming out from each end, thin ones because this will be the belt. We'll then draw, let me zoom in a little bit, we will then draw two hoops on the belt. So this is, two lines will equal one hoop. That's one and then two. Okay, this is one and then two. Okay, we will then work with the face, so we can come back to that part a little bit later. Let me just zoom out so you can see the full picture. Okay, so here we're going to do some shapes like this, like a little bit of a curve outwards. The bottom, the same thing, a little bit of a curve downwards like that. And the second one is a little bit lower than that one. Okay, we're going to bring in a line here into that rectangle. Bring two parallel lines that are coming down in a vertical format, top to bottom, and then we'll connect them a little bit lower here with a pointy line shape. Erase the lines that are inside this shape. Okay, then we'll move on to the top. I'm sorry, we'll move here. This is the two lines, sorry, that we have here, here. We'll do the curve here. Bring the lines down here, and then this is the pointy that I was making reference to. Okay, so let me make sure I zoom out so we can see a lot more. Okay. Then this top part is going to have a little bit of a pointy section, kind of like this, and then also a bump here. If you can, do a curve like this, and then do this bottom line here that represents a cap. This is supposed to be a cap on this gentleman. Okay. If you can, on the outer parts of this corner, we'll be doing a shape like this, which represents the big ears. It's almost like a light bulb shape. Okay, you see that? There you go. Let me see if I can move this line over so you can see a little bit more. There we go. And then what we'll do is right in between where the ears connect, we'll do like a teardrop shape. Okay, and then around it, underneath it, we'll do the nose shape, which very much looks like a strawberry, like this. It's going to be big, so it's okay to exaggerate. You can then erase an inner line that connects the first teardrop that we had. We will then proceed to work on the eyes, which are going to be like inverted letter D's. There's like the letter D, and then this one's inverted the other way. Okay. You can then work with a line that goes in the middle, like that. You can insert your eyes. You can shade them in. Okay. And then you can work on the ears. Make a line inside that curve like this. And then make a line in the bottom half that curves up for the ear. Okay. We can then proceed to the mouth, which is going to be like a slanted marshmallow shape. Okay. If you can, draw like a letter T inside. You see the letter T? And then bring that last line down. Those are the two teeth. If you can shade the top in so we can see the full mouth, that'll be awesome. We will then ask you to do lines coming out of the mouth, which represent like some wrinkles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then maybe 5 over here. Okay. We will then work on the eyes a little bit. But before we do, around the nose are going to be 2 lines coming down. 1, 2. And then on the bottom tip of the nose, 1 and 2. Okay. We'll then work at the edge of the eyes. We'll add 3 lines at the very bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Also, we'll add another curve underneath each eye. There we go. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll add glasses. Okay. You can determine if the middle is going to be here, and then give it a big frame like this. Okay. And then just draw around the other eyes. You can also make the top a little bit thicker with a little edge like that on the top. So a little bit thicker with a little edge in the corner of it. Okay, there we go. Alright. And then what we'll do is we'll proceed to the bottom part. We'll give it 3 chins right underneath that mouth. It'll be 1, 2, and 3. Okay. I will then proceed to the neck area, which is the collar. I'm going to add a line here going down and then up. It almost looks like a check mark. Do you see that? And then of course this will be like the reverse of that check mark going up. There we go. We'll then establish a crooked line coming from the bottom of the chin to the belt buckle. Let me kind of zoom in there so you can see that. It'll be kind of a little bit curved like that. We'll then establish 4 buttons. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then what we'll do is on the side of the arms, instead of it being straight, we're going to make it a little crooked, as if showing that the shirt was a little bit wrinkled because of the cloth. We'll make it a little zigzag line. Erase the other lines as needed. And then add the 2 pockets, 1 and 2, inside those pants. And then we're going to add the hair on the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So there you have the old man character. You're welcome to make some variations on it if you like. And then these will be the 3 drawings that we'll be preparing for further design. So as you can see, it'll be ready for us next week. Please have these drawings finished in pencil, and then you can turn them in via Google Classroom under each category: the bird, the fish, and the old man caricature. Thank you very much for your attention. Any questions, you can reach me via Google Classroom or Remind, and also my email, which is ra.ramirez, R-A-M-I-R-E-Z, @ecisd.us. Thank you, everyone. We hope to see some great artwork turned in. Have a good day.